Okay, today's bits. This came into my hand last night. Dominique sent it to me, and when I started reading, I thought, this is what we have to make for today, these videos. It's a work titled The Occult Technology of Power, and it's actually about the money lords who rule over us. It's perfect for our strawmanburneth.com site, and it's information I want the world to know. And I do these vids for the purpose of those who prefer to hear, pick more up when they're hearing something rather than reading it for themselves, and that's why I read as much as I can in these vids. Now, this is actually called a project of the Society for Illuminating the Sources of Power. It's copywritten in 1974 by Alpine Enterprises out of Dearborn, Michigan. And this is on the internet in our strawmanburneth.com site. We've got a link to this work that you can print off yourself. I'm going to go to the end. It's point 11, an afterword by the transcriber, just so that you can get an idea of where this document is heading. And for each section we'll do a video, and each one is really important because it is how we are living today, and this was copywritten in 1974. Okay.
So are you calling for a national strike and all kids to stop going to school and being educated by these bastards?
Yeah, totally.
Start printing our own money?
You are fast forwarding. As we go through each section, that's where I want to put in strike. Strike.
Go on, strike.
When I
all the armies come home.
Like, this is something, this is just gelling it for all of us. In all the information, Brian, the Christ, returned as the voice of reason, which they fear. These people fear the voice of reason and independent logical thought. So for anybody who has abused, who has not believed Brian, you deserve to go where it is that you're headed. I'm telling you right now, the judgment is ahead of us. There are devils on this planet who are operating with their heads in the sand, who don't want to know, who are preventing others and their children from the knowledge that they must have in order to survive and get out of where we've been placed. And by shutting down or preventing somebody else from hearing the only voice of reason on this planet, is a crime that is heinous. I mean, we're talking about these dudes and the over things that they are causing. But for those of you who are not getting the word out there that the Christ is already on the earth, and who are, for whatever reasons, because you don't believe, you have other beliefs, take a look at the word belief. What is it? B-E-L-I-E-F. Be the lie. If you're believing whatever it is that you're believing out there, if it is not the ultimate truth, then you are caught in a lie. The ultimate truth is the truth that will set all mankind free. The Christ is on the earth. He has been revealing for decades the truth of all things, the deceptions of the entire system that we have been born into, aka hell. When you go into the heavenly realm at death, which most of you will end up doing in the years ahead, you will realize that you missed it. Oh shit moments for everyone. The truth is here on the earth. He's been telling us, he's been warning us. Wake up, there is a freight train headed our way. So this is a document that I want everybody to hear. Not our words, not his words. It paints the picture of how we've all been ensnared, how mankind has become the slave to the despots who have done it deliberately, all the while laughing to their banks at the stupidity and their heads buried in the sand, as those that are comfortable do not want to know, and those who teach would rather not have our children know the ultimate truth, because therein is their escape.
Don't you have a brother-in-law that's actually...
Oh, look, I don't want to even go there, please. Please. That's the inspiration behind getting this out. When we get to the section on education, how they have used education and teachers to teach their doctrines, then I'm going to have a real spew. Because you know, how many children,
how do you spell Benjamin Blake?
Oh, no. How
B-L-A-I-K?
That's right. How, hey,
you
look,
can Google it, can't you?
Yes, you can Google it. It comes up first.
Benjamin Blake, B-L-A-I-K.
That's why we're using the spot. When I realised that we couldn't get rid of the #1 spot on Google, I thought we have to use it for all of its glory. So this is aimed at all teachers, all parents, at every human being on the planet. Students, I want you to hear this and hear really, really closely, because at the end of the day,
the point is we're talking to the kids.
We are.
Like, tell the teachers to go fuck themselves. Right? I mean, they're all part of the problem. Right? All the politicians, go fuck themselves.
Yes.
Get the kids together, smoke a bit of dope, realise what's going on, and then
Adam
go on
absolutely
strike.
had it right. I mean,
Don't go to school anymore.
Adam's been persecuted. He didn't finish grade 9 because he's too smart for the system. He couldn't be put in a box, and he's been persecuted for it. When this information is what he has been and telling and teaching those that have ears to hear at his age, this is exactly what he has been teaching them, and he's been persecuted for it and judged by the ones who would rather go to hell than come to the knowledge of the truth. Anyway, I've had my rave. So, getting down to what the transcriber, his afterwords are. And we'll start the first bit after, because this is the setting for it. The names of some of these banking families are familiar to all of us and should be more so. They include Baring, Lazard, Erlanger, Warburg, Schroeder, Seligman, the Speyers, Mirabaud, Mallet, Fold, and above all, Rothschild and Morgan. That's a quote from Dr. Carol Quigley, Tragedy and Hope. Now, apparently Dr. Quigley is the mentor of Bill Clinton. Now, he wrote the book Tragedy and Hope. It's very easy. Go and Google search that again. It's very easy to read. He writes as an academic, but he writes it in such a way for all men and inside information on how they all operate. He might have been the mentor of Clinton, but that's what he ended up being. At the heart of it, I think he was trying to expose everything that was going on. Okay. Now, he says, the transcriber of this piece of work says that any resemblance of these characters, the names that I've just read, to persons living or dead, is purely coincidental.
Right.
Listen, this is tongue in cheek, you'll get by the tone of which I'm saying. Any resemblance of their methodology to that of real ruling elites is purely intentional. The extent to which I represent or exaggerate the self-conscious, intentional power technology of real politico-economic rulers and their unity is for the reader to decide after studying available empirical evidence. What he's saying is, he's not exaggerating. Take a look around. Now this is an old work now. Take a look around at how we are living today and judge for yourselves, is what he's saying. Study the evidence. So, do we have time to launch into... Perhaps I'll just...
Well, you could mention Ben Blake a bit.
No, I really don't want to. No. Why do I have to when you are?
who poured out all of the hundreds of dollars worth of colloidal silver we had prepared for the children of the school that he teaches at, and his own children, to fight off the flu that was coming like a freight train. Mm. And we managed to get the people of the world to ignore it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He poured out all the colloidal silver, 220 litres of it. Mm.
Yes, that would have been enough to save a community, totally.
How does he spell his name again?
Not with an E, with an I. Now, getting into, because there's a quote here by another Benjamin, and you'll have to wait till the next bit. Okay, finish.